This week on CinemaBeach, horror redefined. Hello and welcome to Cinema Beach, the show that brings you the latest news and reviews from the art house, courtesy CinemaBeach.com. I'm Brian Thompson.
And I'm Tony Ortiz. Today we take a look at Drew Goddard's funny yet scary yet imaginative movie, Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods. Plus, before Drew Goddard and Joss Whedon went to a cabin in the woods, Alan Tudyk actually was camping in a cabin in the woods, and we'll talk about that in our DVD pick of the week. So, but first, headlines from the news feed. So, kind of a slow week for indie news, but one of the things I wanted to talk about was Woody Allen.
If we must.
We must, because of the success of Midnight in Paris. We're excited about his new movie, To Rome with Love. It's had a dozen titles already. I think.
Yeah.
It was Nero Fiddled, and then Bop to Camera, and one of the now
what?
it's had a ton of Now we've got the generic To Rome with Love.
Yeah. Oh, it's better than those other two, that's for sure.
I liked Bop to Cameron.
Knit to Fiddle?
Nero Fiddled.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
What are you,
It's
like
Woody
a grumpy
Allen.
old man here?
Yeah.
Fuck Woody Allen.
Fuck that out.
To Rome with Love is his Italian love letter, just like I guess Midnight in Paris was his French love letter.
Yeah.
It's a film that a lot of people are excited about. It's kind of vignettes.
Was his English
His English love letter in Barcelona, Vicky Cristina, Barcelona. Yeah, he's been all over. So this movie, people were excited about it coming out. It's got everybody in it. It seems like it's everybody in
Once
her.
again.
Yeah. But it's not playing at Cannes. It's not playing at Venice. We got it here in LA. They announced this week that LA Film Festival is actually going to premiere. It's going to be the opening night film. June 14th is when the film festival starts. And then the movie actually comes out in theaters. So I think Sony's releasing it June 22nd. So if you must see it before it comes out, go to the LA Film Festival.
Yeah, not at Cannes. Not, anywhere else, but here.
We're definitely excited about that.
And seems right since his next movie is going to be shot here. So far, that's what.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Up in San Francisco.
San Franny.
Yeah. So
that's actually the name. San Franny.
San Franny. That's a good title.
Franny. What was Nero Teddles? What was
Nero Fiddled.
Yeah. Franny Fiddled.
Franny Fiddled. That's a good title. So
what's that? That's what you asked for at the bathhouse, or what? I want the Franny Fiddled.
Is that what the movie's going to be about?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Allen, bathhouse.
He's done his European tour, and it's good that he's coming back to the States here, but doing his little fiddling.
Yeah. Little fiddling. There we go.
He's a guy. He's a guy who directs once a year. So I imagine that this film will probably be starting shooting tomorrow, if it hasn't already done it.
I think it's already done.
I think he shoots them in like 2 days, anyways. So.
Speaking of fiddle, that has nothing to do with it. Speaking of fiddling, the trailer for Looper.
Did you have to fiddle yourself after watching the trailer?
Bruce Willis is dreamy. So, this movie looks dang interesting.
Time travel has not yet been invented, but 30 years from now, it will have been. I am one of many specialized assassins in our present called loopers. So when criminal organizations in the future need someone gone, they zap him back to me, and I eliminate the target from the future.
Ooh la la.
Loopers are well paid. We live the good life. And the only rule is never let your target escape. Even if your target is you.
Looper is written and directed by Ryan Johnson, who did Brick and Brothers Bloom, and it's been a long time since he's done a film.
4 years.
That's what somebody told me. Yeah, I thought it was longer, but
Not 10.
It's I think the problem is I've been waiting because I'm a big Rian Johnson fan. However, this trailer, it doesn't look like a Ryan Johnson movie, does it?
We probably shouldn't even be talking about it on the indie newsfeed.
Yeah, well,
because
yeah.
This is big budget.
Well,
But
it's a big
Ryan.
budget, but it's
So-
Ryan Johnson. It's Film District, I think, has the rights to it, and or I think Sony TriStar or whatever has actually got their hands in it as well. But yeah, it's guy travels through time. Is that what it's? Here's the problem.
Guy Pearce?
Guy Pearce travels through.
No.
It's H.G. Wells.
Mobsters send back people to
Why?
have them killed.
Why don't they kill them? I mean, mobsters kill each other now. Why do they send them? I guess hopefully Rian Johnson, who is a good writer, does a good job. Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. I'll see the movie. It looks fun. It's.
If not, we'll go back in time and kill Ryan. You know what I mean?
We'll erase
Be
this
like,
podcast from our.
Yeah.
So
Get out of here.
I don't want to kill Ryan because he's a good guy. So
Bruce
know,
Willis is dreamy.
Bruce Willis. Yeah, is Ryan, Joseph Gordon-Levitt dreamy? Is Joseph Gordon-Levitt Bruce Willis in the future?
He is. Wait, what?
Or Bruce Willis is
I
Joseph
was
Gordon-Levitt
like,
in the future?
Bruce Willis should be happy.
This is time travel, man. It just blows me. Yeah.
You obviously don't know the space-time continuum.
Exactly.
And all that malarkey.
I watched enough Lost. I think I got a little grasp of it. But a few months ago, we did talk about the trailer and how excited we were for seeing Cabin in the Woods, and here we are. Coming up next, our review of Joss Whedon and Drew Goddard's new horror romp.
Ooh.
Yeah, stay tuned.
For more film news, check out the indie newsfeed at cinemabeach.com. From trailers to casting announcements, film festival news to production updates, the news feed at Cinema Beach is your best source for indie film news. While you're there, subscribe to our RSS feed and don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Hello? I'm thinking this thing doesn't take credit cards.
Sign says closed.
We're looking for, what's it called?
Tillerman Road.
Not to get you there, getting back. That's your concern.
Oh, this is awesome.
Whoa, no way.
The lambs have passed through the gate. They are come to the killing floor.
Let's get this party started!
I seriously believe something weird is going on.
What is that thing?
We have to stay together. This isn't right. We should split up.
Yeah, good idea.
Really?
For years, classic horror fans have been crying for something new, something different, something not torture porn, which has been kind of the dominant horror franchise thing going on lately. Joss Whedon and Drew Goddard have finally answered that by going back and doing the classic teenagers go to a cabin in the woods and get attacked, but they're doing something definitely different here. Is this, Tony, is this horror redefined? Is this... I mean, how you're a horror fan?
I am a super big horror fan. You're not going to be able to do this more than once, but it is a new concept to the old story.
Yeah, I will say this, and we'll get into Cabin in the Woods for a second, but we talked about Ty West a few episodes back and how he's kind of doing more of the classic horror these days. This film, and in no way is the same, but I will say it's similar to what Scream did with the horror genre, back in the day.
Yes.
It's
real fast, I'd like to say, if you haven't seen this, to that one fan out there, turn off the podcast for now.
Yeah.
Go watch the movie and then come back.
This is going to be tough because it's, I mean, one of the...
Spoiler alerts.
And everybody who's reviewing this movie is doing their best to not give away what's going on in the film. So we'll try our hardest not to do any spoilers.
Well, I mean, really, the less you know, like I went in just knowing a little bit, but I think the less you know, the better it is for you.
Yeah.
It's just such a fun movie.
There's definitely an enjoyment in the big reveal that happens. You know what's really going on with this movie. I will say this though, and it's not a movie that I think it will be spoiled if you know what's going on, because there's so much going on in this movie. He's doing so much with this film, and let's talk about this. So it's Joss Whedon, who's well known for Buffy and Angel and Firefly and Dr. Horrible, and
Dr. Horrible.
Dr. Horrible.
See, that's two.
There you go.
That's two. Oh, Dr. Horrible is.
Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. Yeah, and he directed Serenity, and he's got Avengers coming out in a couple months here. So, or next month, I guess. He's the mastermind. He wrote this, and it's also written and directed by Drew Goddard. Drew Goddard, who is a Whedonite, as we'll say. He is a writer. He wrote for all those shows. He also was a writer and executive producer for Alias and Lost, and he wrote Cloverfield.
He wrote Cloverfield.
Yeah, this is his directorial debut. So he's worked with Joss Whedon. He's worked with J.J. Abrams. He's definitely a guy who knows, what
he's doing.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, and he knows what he's doing here as well.
I definitely have to say he does know what he's doing.
Yeah, this is a well-made, but really well-written movie, and I think that's what we're going to probably be talking about the most.
Yeah, it was so refreshing coming off of last week's film.
Yes.
In so many ways, but really just to get back to some good dialogue and amazing acting by probably everybody in that, but really it gets you in the first 5 minutes.
Definitely. He sets up exactly what you're going to what the movie is well, not necessarily what the movie is about, but the tone of the film for sure. Okay, so the movie, let's just talk about it in very basic. A bunch of college kids go on a trip. Yeah, they hop in the van or whatever, and they go off to the cabin, some remote place, and to go have sex and get drunk and have a good weekend, and they will pay the price. And that's we've seen it before in every other horror slasher movie.
Friday the 13th scenario.
And so we'll talk about Evil Dead as well. I mean, Evil Dead kind of does the same thing, and what that did with the horror genre back in the 70s is what he's kind of doing now. So
yeah, I would definitely consider that like the Evil Dead, our DVD pick of the week, Tucker and Dale.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
This has this is like the next segment, and like all those, if you were going to watch all those, you would be a happily satisfied person. And it's really, they reinvented what you would think of as the classic
I mean, the tagline for Cabin in the Woods is they're saying something like you think you know horror, you think you know the story, but you don't. And that's exactly what's going on. Is you will be surprised for sure. But again, I'm going to say this is it's not ruined if you already know what's going to happen. There have been some critics that have said, kind of what's going on in the film. And if you've read those and you're like, well, I'm not really interested in seeing it. No, it's you should, because again, especially if you're a fan of Joss Whedon, if you're a fan of Drew Goddard, I mean, he's packed it with all the classic Joss Whedon actors, dialogue. Just
everything about it. And it really feels like a Joss Whedon film. I mean, it really does.
And you've got Fran Kranz or whatever, the guy from Dollhouse. He plays the stoner.
Amy Ackers
in it.
Yeah, Amy Ackers.
And so you've got some of the people who we've seen. Although sad to say, I mean, I'm a big fan of Amy Acker. I loved her in Angel. I loved her in.
You wanted Charisma Carpenter.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. She doesn't really do much in the film, Amy Acker. So
no, she has a small part, but which I think most of the people in his previous films do. They're people with like little roles in this.
Yeah, there's the guy who played the sidekick in Dr. Horrible, and he was also in Buffy. He plays the intern, which we won't say any more about that. But there's some great little cameos for Joss Whedon fans, and there's also some great little visual cameos as well for horror fans, for Joss Whedon fans, for fans of sci-fi and fantasy, and really and now we're kind of getting into the spoiler territory.
Yeah, I want to get in the spoiler. Is saying that Richard Jenkins and Bradley Whitford.
Let's go ahead and we'll start some spoiler stuff here. But yeah, the opening scene, which you kind of hinted at right away, Bradley Whitford and Richard Jenkins in their
have just an amazing dialogue moment.
Here,
it's just awesome.
It's called Cabin in the Woods. It's your classic, teens go to the cabin. But the movie opens with two middle-aged project managers, walking around, talking about, having, one of them trying to have a baby, and it's hilarious. And then boom, Cabin in the Woods, and you're like, what the hell am I watching? And I mean, you actually.
I was like, wait, what movie did we come see?
Yeah, were you in the wrong theater?
I thought maybe, I think they put on the wrong tape, but no, it was actually, it was an awesome way to start off the film.
It was, and like I said, it's a perfect, sets the tone because it's funny, and you realize that this movie it's not horror, it's a comedy, and it's an action, and
yet it has all the horror things. I mean, there are people getting like slashed in it, and there's tons of gore. It has, just like, as we said, like Scream and all those, you have the things that make it a horror film, but yet it's not a horror film. I mean,
it's almost like two movies in one. It's a office kind of comedy, kind of the like a Office Space type of thing, or it's a horror slasher movie. It's got the zombies in it. It's got everything else that you could possibly want in a horror movie. But it's funny, and he kind of, it's two different worlds that we kind of go back and forth through, and they do a great job, kind of balancing that.
Yeah, I would definitely.
I think I can get it to go down. Do we want to go down?
It's a movie for the scholarly film guy can go see this movie and really kind of look at it and see, okay, what is he doing not only with the genre, but also what is he doing with the audience participation in the film. And, we kind of talked about this after the movie. I felt like it was, for a while there, I was trying to figure out what was going on with the film, and I thought that it was actually a movie that was being directed at me, the viewer, at us, the viewer.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he's doing a great job on that. He's basically saying, like, look, your experience in a horror film is actually being fucked with here as well. Like, we're giving you everything that you could possibly want. Sorry. We're giving you everything you could want with your horror experience, but we're also, playing with it. And he's very self-aware, I guess, is what I'm saying. And it's for that reason alone, I guess, see the movie, because you'll kind of understand a little bit more about film. But if you're not really going to see a movie for that reason, then you can still just enjoy it because it's just fun.
It's just a full-on enjoyable ride. This movie is... literally, I think because we had just watched God Bless America, and then we saw this, just night and day. And it really, obviously, the movies are completely different anyway, but this movie, just everything, like the writing was like dead on. The writing was on. Obviously, the acting. I mean, you have like such actors as Bradley Whitford and
Richard Jenkins.
I mean, that's that alone.
And Chris Hemsworth, he does a capable job, and
I mean, all the kids do, and the ones who go into the cabin.
And some big cameos. That
Oh yeah,
they do some good jobs too. So
okay, enough of that, I guess. Yeah. The whole thing's a spoiler, but go see the movie, check it out. Joss Whedon and Drew Goddard did an awesome job.
So up next, our DVD pick, I think, is a fantastic tie-in. We talked about it before, but we're going to review Tucker and Dale versus Evil, so stay tuned.
To check out more about this movie, head on over to the review section at CinemaBeach.com. Read the complete review, or check out the other reviews on the site. Updated weekly, we've got you covered on all the films playing in Southern California's art houses. You can also browse our archives for past reviews from all our contributors.
Oh, jeez. Whoa, Jesus.
Did you see the way those guys looked at us?
Who wants to go skinny dipping?
No!
We got your friend!
They captured Allison!
Oh, it's the pancakes. You hate pancakes? I'm gonna make you something else.
What am I doing here?
Fell into the water. Dove in and rescued you.
We'll go find your friends. You should relax. Tucker and Dale are on the case.
What is this place?
It's just a cabin. It doesn't mean they're psycho killers.
Then why don't you go in there and talk to them?
All right, maybe I will. I said maybe.
Dale, what are you doing?
I'm taking a crapper hole.
You mind if I help?
He's making her dig her own grave.
There's no rules out here. It's us against them.
Oh, good. Look, your friends are here. You okay?
Saw your friend out there. He must be allergic to bees or something because he was running like a bat out of hell.
Last year, a little horror film hit the festival circuit and won a lot of acclaim in that it was a genre film that basically kind of redefined the genre, much in the same way that Cabin in the Woods did. Written and directed by Eli Craig and starring Alan Tudyk and Taylor Labine, it's a movie that it challenges your notions about the whole Cabin in the Woods slasher movie. We're talking, of course, about Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Tony, you saw it, and
I did.
You loved it, and
I did. As with everybody.
Yeah, it's my wife actually has said it's her favorite movie now. Like I told her we were going to talk about it last night. We were in bed and we were actually just falling asleep, and she was half asleep, and I said, "Oh, we're going to be talking about Tucker and Dale." She just woke up and started laughing and was like quoting lines from it, and
it's one of those movies. It's funny. I think it really built steam up when it got onto Netflix or like on Redbox and stuff. I think more people saw it in that and then in the theater. And I remember one of my friends like posted on Facebook like, "Oh, I just saw Tucker and Dale. I love this movie. It's hilarious." And the comments went for like miles on how many people love this movie.
Yeah.
Like everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, I just saw it too." And it's just one of those movies. It's hilarious.
I think you can't not see it and love it. Like it's a movie. Did I do that right? That was like a triple negative.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a movie that just kind of it hits you on all levels of enjoyment. It's your classic horror film. So it's basically we'll talk about the premise. It's
these guys, Tucker and Dale, they I just jumped right in there.
Yeah. No, go for it.
Tucker and Dale, they're gonna get away and go on a fishing trip.
Yeah.
And is it Tucker's new place or Dale's?
I can't remember. Yeah. But
one of theirs new cabin, and they go there thinking they're gonna have a good old time. Meanwhile, these kids are going to have like a trip out in the woods.
Again, your classic college. Yeah.
And they think that these are like some crazy hillbilly backwoods rednecks. How many more offensive words can I use there for those people? But
and they they play on that. I mean, they definitely understand the whole redneck mentality. But I think what's great about what Eli Craig's doing with this is that he's saying, well, yeah, they're rednecks, but they're not rednecks who are killers, and not every redneck is a killer. I mean, it is.
Yeah, so the kids play on that in their imagination, and then one by one start falling off. And Tucker
through accidents,
through accidents, and so Tucker and Dale are actually scared of them, thinking that they're like a suicide cult.
They think that they're a suicide cult, that they've come out here to kill themselves. And, it's a horror movie because there actually is some supernatural. Well, I guess not supernatural, but some slasher elements going on. There is kind of another kind of deeper historical story going on here that we end up kind of falling into, but. In that sense, that's one of the things I didn't like about the movie. I thought it got kind of a little muddled in trying to do that kind of slasher thing. But what makes the movie so great is these two. Is Alan Tudyk, who we know from Joss Whedon. He was in Firefly and Serenity, and he's great in this. And Taylor Labine, who kind of hit it big with Reaper and with was he on Sons of Anarchy or something like that?
Yeah,
and
right.
He's hilarious in this, and he's kind of the main character. He's the one that like is the lovable, oaf who we kind of love and root for, and it's a movie that's just it's good.
It's a fun movie. It's one of those movies I've watched a handful of times now, and it's really one. I mean, once again, I think just like Cabin in the Woods, it's one of those ones you could watch because it's really not just a comedy. It's this new kind of horror film, but yet at the same time, it's still funny, good dialogue. Just once again, I think it was just a good movie. I can't wait to see what comes next for
Eli Craig.
Craig, because I think he hit it big with Tucker and Dale, and it's got a huge cult following now.
And for people who know Eli Craig, and if you do finally see the movie and go back, this was his first movie. He wrote and directed. He's an actor. He's kind of done some bit parts and some stuff. Prior to this, he actually did a short film that I loved called The Tao of Pong, And I love ping pong,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's how I saw it. And so I knew about this guy, and I definitely recommend if you've seen Tucker and Dale, go back and watch the Dial-A-Pong. He's a hilarious writer director, and he knows exactly what he's doing. And I think this is a great tie-in for Cabin in the Woods for a lot of reasons. But a lot of people are going to see Cabin in the Woods, and because it's a big budget, it's got a big release behind it, and I say for all those people who see Cabin in the Woods, you really need to go see Tucker and Dale, because it's exactly what you're looking for in a movie. If you enjoyed Cabin in the Woods, you will definitely enjoy Tucker and Dale. And no one saw Tucker and Dale, so...
No, not as much. And once again, as I said, like, it really didn't do justice in the box office. But, I think it really started to build up steam in the Netflix world.
Yeah.
And,
which, like all great cult movies do.
Yeah,
so,
they do, right? So, yeah, go see it.
Go
Tucker
see
and
it.
Dale.
Yeah.
Out on DVD this week, Shame, the controversial drama from Steve McQueen, starring Michael Fassbender as a sex addict whose life is altered when his sister, played by Carey Mulligan, comes to stay with him. The Divide, a post-apocalyptic thriller that pits New Yorkers against madness as they try to survive in a bunker. And finally, The Flaw, a documentary that examines the causes of the recent financial conundrum. This film from director David Sington features interviews with Nobel Prize-winning economists as they argue the roots of the crisis and the future of wealth in our country.
All right, well, I guess that's it. That's all we got for today. I'd like to thank cameraman Colin.
Who's back, yeah.
Yeah, Colin's back. His birthday. So
Happy birthday, Colin.
Happy birthday, Colin. And everybody else at the website.
At cinemabeach.com.
cinemabeach.com.
Check us out. Follow
check
us.
us out. Like us. Tweet us. All the other... Poke us? I don't know.
Poke us.
Yeah.
Do people poke anymore?
Pocus, yeah. No, I don't know. Anyway, give us all your love at all the things that we are on.
Yeah, next week we'll be doing our special on the Newport Beach Film Festival, which starts in 2 weeks, I guess. So stay tuned for that one. Got some great interviews with filmmakers and some festival people. So, and then we'll be back the following week with more movie news and reviews. So thanks for watching.